Alright guys, in this video, I'm going to be dropping some bombs on how you can get started with an Amazon FBA automation agency, right? What they are, how they work, and in case you guys are looking to start one, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how you can get started. So stick around to the end of this video to learn more. Alright guys, so a lot of people have been asking on FBA and automation agencies, right? Like, what is an automation agency? So an automation agency is pretty much just anybody that's gonna do Amazon for you, right? It's kind of like a new age agency. You know, it's kind of like the next step. Now that Amazon's such a big topic, you know, there's people that are offering to do your Amazon so you don't have to, right? Because, you know, what I've learned is like a lot of people are very tech savvy and they don't want to get into it. So people are looking for other people to build and manage them in Amazon store, AKA an automation agency, right? So I want to go into some of the topics on how you guys can start one, or why you would want to start one, or what's the best way for you to go about starting one if it is a good fit for you. Now, I think that the biggest thing, you know, that people often run into on how to start something is, you know, you just kind of want to start, right? Like where do you start? You know, you got to determine a place where to start, but more importantly, just start. Just get started with it. Just start moving with it, right? You want to, if you're going to be looking into doing an agency, you're going to want to have a strong foundation, right? So you're going to want to at least know, you got to know what you're talking about, right? Like, we've been doing FBA since 2015, over 120 million sold combined sales all through FBA. Like, I think I had at one point a friend of mine came into my warehouse and he's like, you know, like, you're like, wow, this warehouse is so impressive. Like, you have so many boxes moving and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, cool. Like, where's your warehouse? And he's like, I don't have a warehouse. I do drop shipping, you know? So we've been doing FBA like even before like drop shipping has come around. And it's one of the, probably the most difficult models to get into, right? Because retail is just so easy. Just jump in and just start buying. Wholesale is a lot more negotiating, a lot more speaking to people. You know, it's a lot more numbers. It's a lot more tedious steps. So how do you go about starting an automation agency like an FBA, specifically an FBA, right? Because nobody wants to really touch dropshipping anymore. It's kind of like the old thing and it's really going away. They're shutting down. They've already terminated on Walmart. They're shutting down on Amazon. You kind of want to stay away from dropshipping. That's the reason why we never really kind of got into it, right? But FBA is something that's legitimate, it's long-term, it's got longevity, right? So if you're gonna start something, why not start with FBA, right? So how do you start? How do you get an Amazon, how do you build an Amazon automation, right? Well, the first thing is you're gonna wanna have a strong foundation, right? I strongly encourage anybody that's starting an FBA agency to start with their own account, right? Just get one account of your own, an Amazon account, and just start doing wholesale. Just start calling vendors. And what you can watch some of my other videos where I kind of break down team structures on how you want to set up a team so that your store can scale with wholesale, right? So you can watch some of those videos, but more importantly, you need to get started and you need to start with your own store. Now, the reason why you're going to want to start with your own store is because when you're talking to people, one, you want to make sure you know what you're talking about, right? Two, people want to see your track record. They want to know that you've done this and that you could do it for them, right? So pretty much what you're going to want to do is you want to build a case study around your store and your results, right? So this is what I've been able to do in 3 to 6 months. This is what your store would look like if I was the one working for your store, right? And you're going to want to, you probably should watch some of the other videos to kind of learn how you want to set up your own store so that you continuously have scale. But most importantly, get a store up, and then at that point you have a case study, right? When you have a case study, you could literally like reach out to anybody, like there's so many people in this world that are looking for a place to invest, right? Like, stock market is like risky, crypto's so volatile, so people want to invest in something that has very little risk, right? Like, usually real estate is the way to go, but in real estate you're getting an 8 to 10% return. It's not that good, right? So if you're limited on capital, you're going to want to get a better return. Wholesale, Amazon, that's where it's at, right? You want to have an e-commerce business. You know, I think the statistic is like 2024, like 95% or 90%, everything's going to be e-commerce, right? So that's where the world is going. That's where people want to invest. They want to see your case study. They want to see what kind of profit you made. And then once you show that to somebody, they may be willing to give you their store and let you run with their store. Now, once you have a store, somebody else's store, and you can reproduce your results on their store, you're gonna wanna start sharing that information with the world, right? You could start a social channel, you could start a YouTube, start an Instagram, start whatever kind it is, but just start spreading the word that you know how to do wholesale, you do FBA, you can make profit with that. So now all you need are the few things that are holding you back. Could be Amazon accounts, could be capital, whatever that is. You know, you know how to make profit. You want to start spreading that word, right? Now, as you bring on more stores that you're going to manage, other people's budgets, their stores, you're managing them, right? As you bring those on, you may want to, at some point, introduce an upfront fee for getting started with their store. The reason why is because when you start with a store, at first, you're not gonna have any profit. It takes a little bit of time. That's the reason why you always ask for the upfront, is because you need to build a team, right? Like I mentioned before, you need to watch my other videos because I go into specifically how your team structure should look, right? You don't wanna have, you know, build out individual people for individual stores, because it can get pretty troublesome when you have, you know, 10, 20, 30 stores and you have to manage everybody individually. It may be a headache, right? So you wanna make sure you have a strong foundation and that you're setting up your team structure in a smart way. So look for that video. Once you have multiple stores that you're managing, right, you're gonna want to have departments, right? Because if you teach someone to run wholesale and you have that one person on this one client and everything's going well, at some point you might see, if you have like 5 of those, 10 of those, you're gonna see that, you know, Tom, he's doing really good. He's getting a lot of profits, but Joe over here, he's not getting good results, you know, and that's where you're gonna see inconsistency, because some people are gonna do good, some people are not gonna do good, right? Because a jack of all trades is hard to come by, right? So what we like to do is we like to break it down into departments, right? So we have in onboarding, so you have one department for onboarding. You have, you know, somebody that is loading SKUs, that is one department. You're gonna break things down. Now, we're gonna be also coming out with a whole course on how you guys can get started and build different departments for each and everything. So this way, your automation agency can scale and you're not running into client issues, right? You wanna make sure if you're taking clients, you wanna make sure any promises you make that you're liable for that, and you need to be responsible for those promises, right? So don't overpromise something you can't deliver, right? Make sure you focus on your foundation and don't promise things that you cannot deliver. Now, to touch a little bit more on the foundation, right? You're gonna wanna have a good software that helps you manage your clients across the board. Sales.support is one that we've developed for this specific purpose, because it's a lot of work keeping track of all the different data points, right? You wanna have all your clients' data in one central location, and you wanna have all those data points there as well. So this way, if at any point you start growing to 10, 20, 30, 50 stores, you're gonna wanna access everything within one dashboard, right? So you're gonna wanna set up an affiliate account with sales support. In order to do that, go on the site, sales.support, go on the site, the bottom right, intercom, just ask for an affiliate dashboard, let them know that you're managing multiple stores and that you wanna have an affiliate dashboard. They could set that up for you. And that's gonna be really important, because this way you can have an overview and you're not using Google spreadsheets, right? Google spreadsheets, you know, a lot of clients can receive them and they get like really wary about them, because it's like, you know, you don't know, like, is this tampered with? Like, did somebody manipulate this spreadsheet? You know, is this accurate? Is the calculation right? You don't know any of that on a spreadsheet. But when everything is in a dashboard, it's coming directly from Amazon API. So it's something that you can trust, because it's not as easy to manipulate. So you're gonna wanna ask them to set up this dashboard, and that can help you manage all of your stores. Now, once you get to that point, you're just gonna wanna share more of your results, and grow at a pace that makes you comfortable, right? You got to build out teams, you got to support all this foundation. In the long run, I think there's a really, really great place for agencies. I think like in 5 years, right now I'm seeing a lot of agencies, a lot of like automation agencies, and some of them have 100 customers, some of them have 300, some of them have 500 customers. I think one has like 800 customers. I think that in about like 5 to 10 years, these companies are gonna have maybe 500, maybe 1,000, maybe 3,000 stores, maybe 5,000 stores. It's going to be a large number because they're accumulating all these stores every month, every year goes by. They have more and more stores that they're managing. Their teams are getting the teams are getting bigger. So it's I'm really, really interested to see where the future of these automation companies lies. But I think it's something that if you're interested in getting into wholesale, interested in getting into Amazon, something you want to consider. Look out for the course that we're gonna drop. Subscribe to the channel so this way when we launch that automation course, you get notified of it right away, and then sign up for a sales support affiliate dashboard that will help you set up so you can manage all your stores in one location. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. I'm gonna be reading through them, and I wanna answer some of your questions. See you later.
You guys see any value in the video you just saw? If so, hit the subscribe button right over here and make sure you click the bell to get notifications whenever we come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday so you can continue to build your own FBA machine.